What's going on, Alchemists? I'm super excited. I was lucky enough to snag an Akai-Hane playtest deck from the Akora team, and basically I just want to do a quick deck profile and show you what an Akora deck's all about. Let's check this thing out. Alright, Alchemists. Well, we're going to start out with our Akora deck first, which is a deck consists of 9 cards, which is 3 of each of your stages of your Akora. So for the Akai-Hane deck, we're going to start out with Akai first. Notice it has a relic cost of 1, 150 soul points. Its attribute attack is Heat for 600 attack, and stage 1 in the left hand corner. Next up, for the stage 2, Akai-Hiko. Observe, a relic cost of 3, and essentially what that means is you need 3 relic shards out on the field, and you can choose to do what is called relic up. Now when you relic up, your turn ends, and you can't attack, and you take Akai-Hiko from your Akora deck and place it on top of your Akai in your active Akora zone. Akai-Hiko has 250 soul points, and its attribute attack is called Scorch for 1200 attack, and observe stage 2 in the bottom left. Lastly, we have stage 3, which is Akai-Hane. Observe a relic cost of 6 if you choose to relic up from Akai-Hiko to Akai-Hane. Akai-Hane has 600 soul points, and observe this interesting point right here. There are 2 attacks. So your attribute attack is Inferno for 1500 attack, and right here you see this fire relic shard. Well, that indicates on a card that it's a relic attack, and what that means is you have to sacrifice a relic and send it to the dart zone to choose to do that attack. So in this instance, the attack is Scorching Rage for 2300, and observe stage 3, and that completes your Akora deck. 3 of each copies, and a 9-card Akora deck is complete. Alright, Alchemists, now we're getting into our Alchemy deck. Now this is really exciting, and in this deck we're going to play 3 of each of the Alchemy cards that I show you in the next couple of clips. So we'll start out with my personal favorite, Hot Sauce. Let your fire Akora drink this. It gains 200 attack until this card is sent to the dart zone. If this card is sent to the dart zone, do 100 damage to your opponent's Alchemy Essence each turn. So in sense, you can play up to 3 of them out on the field at a time if you have enough Alchemy Zones on your playmat. And it does stack, so each one gives 200 additional attack to your Akora. And the best part about this card is, once it's sent to your dart zone, in an instance like your Akora gets destroyed, and this card is equipped to it and goes to your dart zone as well, it still helps you out, and each turn deals 100 damage to your opponent's Alchemy Essence, or their life points. Hot Coals. Man, do I love this Alchemy card. Your fire Akora gains 200 attack. Each time your opponent's Akora attacks, they take 100 burn damage to their Alchemy Essence. So this card is really comparable to Hot Sauce. Once again, you're getting that 200 attack bonus. And instead of it being in your dart zone, if this is in play in one of your alchemy zones and you get attacked by your opponent, they take 100 damage right off the bat. So it's a really great card 100% of the time if it's in your hand. First turn or any turn, play it if you got the space on your alchemy zone. Rain of Fire. I love this alchemy card as well for fire decks. It's phenomenal, and it is a must if you're running Hot Coals, like an absolute must. Okay, so all fire attribute Akora gain 100 attack for each relic shard on the table. If this card is destroyed, add 1 Hot Coals from your deck to your hand. That's what I'm saying. If you're running Hot Coals, you need to run Rain of Fire. It's phenomenal, whether you're running Akabu and Akai or any future fire Akora deck. That pair and Hot Sauce are essential. Explosion. Not only does this card have some dope artwork, it's also a very dope fire alchemy card, and this is why. Flip this card face up. Send 1 relic shard to the dart zone, which is yours, by the way. Your opponent's attacking Akora is destroyed. Let me tell you, this is amazing and a game-changing card, which is why I highly recommend running a playset in any fire deck. So essentially, you're going to place this card, right? And then next turn, when your opponent goes to attack, you can flip it almost like a trap card. It's pretty comparable to that. But it's a flash card indicated by the lightning bolt right there. You're going to sacrifice 1 of your relic shards and destroy your opponent's attacking Akora. Now, while it's good at any stage, definitely it's awesome if you can destroy your opponent's stage 2 or stage 3, because then their stage 1 also gets destroyed and takes away from their Akora deck, because if your opponent runs out of Akora, game's over, you win. Is it likely to happen? No, but it definitely puts a stop to your opponent's attack and makes them have to rework, because any equip cards they have, or armament cards rather, go to the dart zone with them. So highly recommend running 3 of these explosion cards. Next up, we have Flame Eternal. I love this card, and I think it pairs very well with Explosion, because Explosion you have to sack a relic shard, whereas this one lets you search for one, which is awesome, and definitely helps out a lot. So Flame Eternal. Fire type Akora, take no battle damage this turn. Add 1 Fire Relic Shard to your hand. It's pretty to the point, but you'd be surprised in a fast-paced game like Akora how much that helps. If you can stop your opponent from attacking one turn, it can be the difference between winning and losing the game right there. And being able to get a Fire Relic out of it as well is just amazing. So highly recommend this card in any Fire Akora deck. Next up, we have our Battlezone card that we're going to be running in this deck. And just so you know, you can only run 3 Battlezone cards per deck. So 1 playset, but it can also be different. So right now, all we have is Akai-Hane for Fire Akora, but in the future, there's going to be other Fire Relic type Battlezone cards, right? So in the meantime, this does the trick and it does the job well. This is a phenomenal Battlezone card. Let's take a look at it. Fire Dragon type Akora gain 100 attack for each Fire Relic shard you have in play. Each time your Fire Dragon type Akora attacks, you can destroy 2 of your in-play Relic shards to destroy 1 of your opponent's face-down Alchemy cards. So like I said, this card's phenomenal, right? You did 100 attack for each Fire Relic shard you have in play, which adds up a lot, especially when you're attacking every turn that you can. And each time your Fire Dragon attacks, you also have the ability to destroy 2 of your in-play Relic shards to destroy 1 of your opponent's face-down Alchemy cards. So for specific decks, there's going to be a lot of different face-down Alchemy cards that can just really ruin your day. And that's kind of part of Akora. What you're going to have to be doing is like picking and choosing, hey, do I want to sack these Relic shards or would it be better to use them next turn? But then you also have to be wary of certain decks like ice decks where they can freeze your Relic shards, and then it's like you don't even have them unless you have an Alchemy card that can destroy the Alchemy card that caused that effect to happen. So it's a lot of quick thinking for a fast-paced game, but honestly, it's a blast. And this card overall is just amazing, and there's nothing bad I can say about it. So definitely run a playset of these in your Fire deck. Next up, we have Dragomar. If this card is destroyed while in your hand, you can then destroy your opponent's Battlezone card, which is awesome. Right now you may be asking, well, how does it get destroyed out of your hand? And that'll make a lot more sense with this next card we're going to go over. And honestly, it's a pretty lethal combo after playing with the deck. It's a lot of fun. And when you do get this combo to light off, it's just phenomenal because it hurts to see your Battlezone card get destroyed. And highly recommend running a playset of these as well. Alright, now we have probably one of the most game-changing Alchemy cards in this deck, Dragon's Retribution. And it reads, this card can only be special summoned from your hand by card effect. If Akai-Hane is in play, you can choose one of these effects by destroying 1 of your active Relic shards. Once again, going back to that whole picking and choosing, and in this instance, whenever you do play, you're going to want to destroy that Relic shard and use one of these effects. Destroy your opponent's Akora, destroy any number of Alchemy cards in your hand, or destroy 1 of your opponent's face-down Alchemy cards. Like, this card is a game changer, and you need to run 3 of these hands down, right? And going back to it, it says destroy any number of Alchemy cards in your hand. That's where Dragomar comes into that, and you do that awesome combo with Dragomar and destroy your opponent's Battlezone card. Any 3 of these effects can cause grave damage to your opponent and definitely give you that edge you need to win the game. Next up, we have Dragon Champion's Demise. Choose 1 Fire Attribute Alchemy card. Its effect cannot be negated for this turn only. Special summon Dragon's Retribution from your hand to the field. If you're running Dragon's Retribution, just run this too. It's worth it, right? It keeps one of your Alchemy cards in play, so it can't be destroyed by an opponent's Alchemy card. And you get to special summon Dragon Retribution from your hand to the field, which is awesome as well, right? So there's really nothing to lose, and my recommendation is running Dragomar, Dragon's Retribution, Dragon Champion's Demise, and it's a wonderful trio of Alchemy cards to put in any Fire Akora deck. Next up, we have Scorched Earth, which is arguably one of the most powerful Alchemy cards in this deck, but it's situational, right? And let's see why. Scorched Earth. Negate the attack of a nature attribute Akora. If successful, deal half of the attack power directly to your opponent's Alchemy Essence. So, that's why I say it's very powerful, but it's situational, right? If you know you're going up against a Nature Alchemist, all day you want to run a playset of these. It won't be a waste, right? And it adds draw power and just the overall synergy of the deck, and wiping out your opponent's Alchemy Essence. But if you're not running against a Nature Alchemist, not worth it, right? It's just going to be an extra card that you draw. You aren't going to have a use for it. and you're just going to wish it was in the Dart Zone. For the final part of our Alchemy deck, we'll be running 15 Fire Relic Shards to complete our Alchemy deck. An Alchemy deck must be at least 40 cards, and this deck runs 45. So we have 45 Alchemy cards and a 9-card Akora deck, totaling for a 54-card deck. But just keep in mind your Akora deck and your Alchemy deck are separate. Like I said, if I'm not playing it against a Nature Alchemist, you can pull Scorched Earth right there, and now you're down to 42, just to make the most out of your deck and have the most synergy and draw power against your opponent. Alright Alchemists, we just saw a great example of what a Akai-Hane Akora deck will look like. I hope it gave you some ideas and some insight on how you're going to go about building your decks once you start cracking into those Kickstarter boxes, which is going to be here before you know. And honestly, I just can't wait to see what deck ideas people did out there, and more importantly, I can't wait to play you Alchemists in a game of Akora. Until next time, I'm the TradingCardBruh. Peace.